Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching Rinse and Repeat. If you're new here, hi, I'm Priyanka. In today's video, we will see how we can grow tomatoes from seeds. You don't have to go and buy any seeds. We can grow these from kitchen scraps. So this is a very easy veggie to grow, and this is recommended for any beginner gardener. So I would encourage all of you beginner gardeners to give this a go, and we will see how we can do this step by step. I will also show how you can harvest the seeds and keep it for next growing season, and we will see how we can grow them in this season. Also, if you like my videos, click on thumbs up underneath the video, click on subscribe and also the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a video. So the first step is harvesting of the seeds. I'm using Roma tomato. You can use any tomato that you have. With the help of a knife, I'm just scraping out the seeds from half of a tomato and putting it in water. You can use a knife. If you're not comfortable with a knife, please use a spoon, but be very careful if you are using a knife. Also, for this process, please try to use any of the ripe tomatoes that you have, because the seeds in the ripe tomatoes will be mature and it will have a good germination rate. Now, with the help of a spoon, just give it a good stir. We don't want to get rid of all the pulp because it's not going to do any harm to your seed, but just to get rid of the extra pulp so it does not lead to rotting of the seeds. Now, with the help of a spoon, just take the seeds out of the water. If you find this tiresome, just dump the water out and take the seeds and put that on the tissue paper. So now, with the help of the tissue paper, just press the dry side on the seeds and try to push the pulp off the seed. It should be really easy to take it off, and it will also help to dry the seed faster. Now that this process is done, I'm going to keep this on the side and use a new tissue paper, which I will be using to dry the seeds off as well. So I will, with the help of a spoon or my hands, I'm going to take the seeds off the old tissue paper and put that on the new one. And while I'm doing it, I'm going to make sure that I don't put all the seeds together. I will try to separate it so when they dry off, they are not sort of dried together. I'm doing this process just to show how you can collect the seeds from your tomatoes and dry that for the next growing season. If you are using the seeds for this season, you don't need to go through so much pain. You can directly sow these seeds into the containers, and I will show you later in the video how you can do that. I would not recommend using a paper towel method of germination of these seeds because the germination rate of tomato seeds is really high. You can directly grow them in the seedling tray or the container or even the garden itself. The seeds have been drying for 1 hour, so they're good to go if you want to save them for next season or if you want to plant them into seedling trays today. So let's see how we can plant them today. For potting soil today, I'm using the regular potting mix that I buy from local nursery. If you make your own potting mix, please make sure that you use more percentage of coco peat or just the compost itself. We want to make sure that the soil is loose enough so when we are separating the seedlings, it is actually easy to separate the roots and it's not damaging the roots. As usual, I would recommend using moist soil, which ensures that we have hydrated the soil thoroughly, and it also helps with protecting the seed, because when we water the seedling tray from above, it actually leads to misplacing the seed. It can also lead to rotting of the seed, and if we actually use a high pressure of water, it can also expose the seed, leading for it to not germinate at all. For sowing the seeds, I'm using these little tiny seedling trays. I'm using 2 of them because I have approximately 23 to 24 seeds. I will be sowing 12 in each of them. And I'm going to use the same soil that we prepped earlier. I'm going to fill the container and I'm going to make sure that I pack the soil inside, just because the tomato seeds are really tiny and it will get lost when we even spray the water on the top. So I'm going to make sure that the soil is tightly packed and it also protects the seeds. Now using a dried branch, I'm going to make 6 wells in these seedling trays, and in each of these wells I'm going to put 2 seeds each, because not all seeds germinate, and this will actually hopefully lead us to have at least 6 seedlings in each of the trays. Once sown, you have to make sure that these trays are hydrated. There are 2 ways you can do this. Either you can use a spray bottle to spray water from the top layer, or you can use a water tray and you can keep these seedling trays on that water, which will ensure that the root and the soil is hydrated from underneath. So once that is done, make sure that you keep the seedling tray away from direct sunlight, so either in a greenhouse or in any warmer space in your backyard. In about 5 to 7 days, you will see your seeds germinating. They will push the soil and come out of the soil, and you will see the 2 leaves emerging from the seed. This here is a 2-week-old seedling. The leaves that you see here are called cotyledons. They are not what tomato leaves look like, but these leaves are the ones that help the seedling with photosynthesis and establish itself. After about 3 weeks, depending on the quality of your seed, you will see the true leaves developing. This here is a 3-week-old tomato seedling, and you can see that in addition to the 2 leaves that the seedling started with, which are called cotyledons, there is a new tomato leaf. This is what all the leaves in the tomato plant are gonna look like. This here is a 6-week-old tomato seedling. Now that your plant has reached this stage, and you can see that it has grown beautifully and it is really healthy as well, but some of the leaves from the bottom of the plant have started yellowing. This is the stage where the seedlings are trying to tell you that the space is not enough for them to grow any further. So now I'm going to plant them in my garden. Before planting the seedlings in the garden or the container, make sure that for at least 5 days you are placing these seedlings in direct sunlight for just a couple of hours a day, so that these seedlings are getting used to what it's gonna be like when they are planted directly in container or in the garden. This also ensures that they will survive while they actually are planted in direct sunlight. Now is the stage where we start planting these seedlings in the container or the garden itself. I'm going to dig a very small well in the garden, and I'm going to fill it with a little bit of compost to help the roots establish itself. Now is the time to separate the seedlings. For that, push the container like so from the sides. If your soil is loose enough, it will be easy. Place your hand like so and push the container from the bottom, so the soil should come out very easily. Now just try to loosen the soil with very gentle hands so that you don't damage the roots, and take out the ones that you want to plant in your container or in your garden. Even with these 4, I have to still separate the roots. I'm trying to do that very gently as possible, and I'm going to plant all these 4 in my garden today. Now I'm going to place the 3 seedlings that I'm going to plant later aside safely. I'm going to choose this seedling, and I'm going to make sure that the roots are not damaged in the process. So I'm going to make sure that I actually lay them very carefully inside the well that we just created. Cover them with compost so it has all the nutrients to establish itself, and make sure that I am pressing the soil around it just to make sure that it's kind of settled in and it can hold on to the soil on the side and grow stronger. Now that the seedling have been planted, it's important that we water them. I always make sure that I add a little bit of organic fertilizer. Liquid fertilizer are quick to absorb, and it makes sure that the plant is sort of not going through the shock of transplant, and its roots are getting all the nutrients it needs to settle in the new environment. While choosing a spot for your tomato seedlings, either in your container or in your garden, make sure they get at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. They also do not like to be dry, so water them regularly. Lack of nutrition will lead your tomato plant to go yellow and it will produce no fruit. So please fertilize with liquid fertilizer, which is quick to absorb, and in addition add solid slow release fertilizer as well, which will keep good nutrition balance in your tomato plants. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video inspires a lot of you to start gardening. If you do, and if you have any questions, please make sure you ask them in the comment section below. If you like my video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.